If history is any indication, this thing's just about over, guys. Since playoff expansion in 1984, 60-win teams that went up 3-1 in a series are now 48-1 in those series. The only one to lose, the Warriors in the finals against Cleveland a few years ago. We recall that they had one of their most important players suspended for Game 5 in that series, but there's no reason to go there because let's go here, okay? There's a lot to unpack, and I want to start with Kyrie Irving. Jalen, as we watch this thing here, and we may be seeing the end of the Kyrie era in Boston right before our eyes, what are you thinking as you watch him?
You are seeing the end of Kyrie in Boston, and the thing that I'm seeing is his next situation has to be a blank canvas. It can't be the Nets. And what I mean by that is a team that made the playoffs that has an identity in its backcourt already. It has to be a squad like the Knicks, where they can actually build around the fact that he's going to be a volume usage player. He likes to dribble the ball a lot. He likes to shoot the basketball a lot. And that's who he has become. Unfortunately for the Celtics, that's not how they're built. Okay? This is a team that made it to the conference finals last year without him. So now when they insert you into the lineup, it got to be make everybody better. Make everybody comfortable. When you go 7 for 22, you can't turn around and go 8 for 22. You got to get off the ball. And then when you go to the press conference and say, I should have took 30 shots, what do you think the other 14 guys are in the car going home saying? We can't wait till this guy gets out of here. We'll help him pack his bags.
And Jalen, let me just ask you this, because we brought it up in the first hour as well, and that is that so much of what Milwaukee did in transition last night comes off of bad Kyrie shots where everyone on the Celtics is basically standing flat-footed and watching, and here go the Bucks in transition. But you and I can see that. All of us can see that. Why can't the Celtics do something about that?
Well, the guy that's doing it is the person that's not acknowledging it. That's Kyrie Irving. And I promise you, correct me if I'm wrong, Seth and Jay, the body language of the players when you take a bad shot, shoulders just slump, Greeny, like, oh, my goodness. And then all of a sudden, the other team is out in transition.
Yeah, look, we can blame everything on Kyrie. And Kyrie, look, his game doesn't fit Brad Stevens' system. I mean, Brad Stevens has an idea and a vision of how he wants to play. He doesn't fit it. He doesn't make the hockey assist. He doesn't make the pass that leads to the pass. He makes assists. He had 10 assists yesterday. He took 22 shots. I'd say 6 or 7 of them were really bad shots. Those bad shots, when the ball gets stuck, we talked about it. Your defensive transition is connected to your shot selection. You take bad shots, the other team's going to go into transition. We can kill Kyrie. He hasn't changed. He's always been that guy. Let me ask you a question. I know we want to talk about Kyrie, but why are we talking about Gordon Hayward? He makes $31 million a year.
Yeah.
$31 million a year. The last 3 games, he's minus 49. The dude has 4 fouls in 91 minutes. He hasn't gotten even close enough to anyone to foul them, yet alone guard them. So, I mean, like, Gordon Hayward, I understand he was injured. I understand he's coming back from a horrific injury. But you know what? If you're going to put him on the court for 30 minutes a game, he's got to be productive. Now, his game was fit for how Brad Stevens wanted to play, not how they're playing now, but he's got to be more productive.
He's just making all my points for me. He's saying that
anything I can do to help.
Thank you. How does Kyrie fit into Brad Stevens' plan? Gordon Hayward fits more into Brad Stevens' plan. I'm sorry, isn't it Brad Stevens' job to mold his plan to the players that he currently has? If you make a trade for Kyrie Irving and you know that he's an ISO-type player, wouldn't you build a system that is conducive for Kyrie Irving to be aggressive? This is a bigger indictment on Brad Stevens than it is on any other player for me because you have all the talent in the world to win. And I understand, like, you have to find a way. He might be brilliant at X's and O's, but it doesn't seem like he's brilliant at meshing personalities.
But this is what happens when you lose. There's enough blame to go around. We're going to give Kyrie a little bit. We're going to give Gordon a little bit. We're going to give Brad a little bit. But ultimately, at this point of the year, you need your elite all-star level players to perform as such and to be effective and efficient. The guy on the Bucks took 22 shots, named the Greek Freak. He makes 15 of them, scores 39 points. Kyrie takes 22 shots. Okay, he only makes 8 of them. 6 of those, they're out in transition, and the Greek Freak's getting layups.
I understand with you on that. I agree with you on Kyrie.
Can I just speak on behalf of the one guy at the desk who basically spent all season long getting yelled at for making the following statement: the Celtics are better without Kyrie Irving. I've been saying it all year long. Everyone yelled at me. You unanimously yelled at me, and now you're seeing it. He doesn't fit into what they're trying to do. It's not about him. He's a brilliant player. But Jason Tatum has completely regressed since he came back. Is Jaylen Brown still playing? Terry Rozier, is he still a part of this team? These guys were all emerging as really good players, and all of them just stand around and watch while he's playing.
And I'll say something else about Kyrie. It seems like every time he comes to the podium, he's giving himself a self-inflicted wound. If he's calling himself a basketball genius or I don't care or whatever, how about this, Kyrie? Just take the $25,000 fine, you make $250K a game, and do yourself a favor and don't say anything. Less is more.
But also,
because he makes it worse.
Correct. And when you say I should have taken 30 more shots, a guy like Terry Rozier became Scary Terry in the playoffs last year. Okay, that means I'm taking less minutes to sacrifice for you. So you can't go there and say that. It's an indictment on being a leader.
Yeah, he played, I'm looking at the statute here, he played like 11 minutes last night. The Celtics are a mess.